Hey, have you heard of the new term of the Supreme Court?
Oh great, because their last term did not upset the economy and my rights in any way.
This is different. They will discuss an important issue that will affect our lives.
More important than the healthcare decision?
Yes.
More important than Ribon versus Huff decision?
Yes.
More important than the third round of quantitative easing?
Yes.
It must be important then. What is it?
Gay marriage. You don't seem excited like the rest of the Democrats and Republicans who are killing each other over the issue.
The reason why is that gay marriage is not a first priority. Republicans and Democrats kill each other over this so they can distract the people on bigger issues that will affect them.
Gay marriage is a big issue. That's why many people are concerned about it.
The reason why people are concerned about it is that gay marriage is an easy way to talk about it. There are people who have no opinions in any other issues except gay marriage, and people can talk about it all day long cause it's a philosophical issue, such as abortion, which causes tireless fighting.
I don't believe you.
Knowing my experience living in a place that is very liberal and then moving to an extreme conservative area. What shocked me is that Republicans and Democrats are very similar to each other. They both support increasing taxes, wars, the Federal Reserve, and shredding the Constitution. Though both parties have different stances on some areas, they are the same.
What important issues should we look at?
The national debt.
$16 trillion isn't enough. In fact, I heard by economists that debt is good since it transfers credits around the cycle of the market.
By economists, you mean Keynesianists, and an example of this is the Argentinian bank crisis in 2001 and of course the United States bank crisis in 2008. This greatly affects us.
Anything else?
Foreign policy.
We are having a somewhat good relations with Israel, so not a problem.
Foreign policy on countries with poor relations.
We have no poor relations with anyone.
Syria, Libya, Afghanistan, Iraq, Iran, North Korea, Pakistan, Venezuela, Cuba, and China. Also, as this video is being made on foreign policy, we now have 2,000 casualties in Afghanistan. Congratulations on people who believe we left the war.
I did not understand half the things you said, but I doubt it will affect me in any way. What else is there?
The Federal Reserve.
Ben Bernanke said we will be all right.
Ben and Alan Greenspan always say that, and then a crisis happens.
Such as?
Internet stock bubble, real estate bubble, college bubble, bank crisis, oil crisis, and the food crisis.
Is that all?
No, those are just a few examples. And plus of our backless currency that is being hyperinflated due to no backing of gold or silver. How is this not a bigger issue than gay marriage?
Okay, we should deal with that, but we should deal with gay marriage first.
Why?
Because it demands marriage equality, says so the Constitution.
Which part?
Okay, can you help me? I forgot which part is it in.
I can't because there's nothing in the Constitution that relates to gay marriage except that in the First Amendment which states Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion, meaning that putting marriage is a religious ritual, which we are putting religion in government. And in the 10th Amendment, it states that powers not granted to the federal government nor prohibited to the states by the Constitution are reserved to the states or the people. So for me, we shouldn't have gay marriage because marriage is part of religion whether we like it or not. And if the idiots in the media gather a riot of people to fight on this issue, will they at least fight it in the states respectively?
Then if we have the separation of church and state, why do we have marriage licenses?
It was used in the 20th century so that people of different races cannot be able to marry each other.
But that's stupid.
Not as stupid as people wanting to enforce it. So as you see in the decision of Loving versus Virginia, instead of removing the license, they allowed racial marriage. I have nothing against racial marriage, but when they allowed that, there was a foreshadow of gay marriage.
But if people love each other, then they should be able to get married.
Why?
Because it makes them more in love.
Being married does not make you in love, and a paper with the couple's signatures on does not. In fact, half of marriages end up in divorce, which also takes down the argument of marriage as sacred.
But gays that are in love should be able to get married.
So are polygamists and people of the same family, why can't they get married?
Polygamy and incest is weird, don't you think?
Even if it's weird or not, It should be objective as possible. Just because I don't like something doesn't mean that I rule over people based on my opinion.
Even if majority of the people don't approve of it?
Yes, this is not a democracy. This is a republic. That's why in Article 4 of the Constitution it states, "The United States shall guarantee to every state in this union a republican form of government." It protects the rights of everyone, including minorities.
So why don't you support gay marriage if you just said about being as objective as possible?
Because it's against the separation of church and state and I have to pay for their tax breaks.
I think you're lying, and it's because you are a Christian.
Just because I am a Christian does not mean I rule over my beliefs over others. Again, this is a republic, not a theocracy. Or to put it more modern-day term, putting religion and government together is called fascism, since I am enforcing totalitarianism among others, regardless of the religious ideology.
Okay, then tell me about the tax breaks.
When a couple gets married, they are allowed to have tax breaks, which means we, the people, will be forced to pay more taxes on the benefit of the couple.
What? But I don't want to pay taxes for the benefit of the couple.
Especially when there is more than 50% chance of divorce, which will cause my taxpayers' money to go down the drain. If states want to give tax breaks, they are allowed to, but don't force states to give tax breaks unless there was a state legislation passing, not some few people deciding what's best for the state. The state knows what's good for itself. Are you beginning to understand?
But does that make me a neoconservative?
No, that just means that you are becoming a more rational person instead of obeying the media like a sheep.
Then what should we do with marriage licenses?
Take it out. If states would like to do civil unions, then they are allowed to because it's constitutional, since it has nothing to do with religion.
But what if the partner is in the emergency room? How will the partner get to go in unless they are married?
The hospital would change their policy since it's based on their decision. And you can still be able to get married, there just won't have a license for it.
What about the death of a partner? How would they get the benefits that married people receive if one of them dies?
They don't, unless the IRS would now allow any type of partner, whether straight or gay, to receive benefits. Though I believe in the elimination of income tax, but that'll be in another conversation.
Okay, then tell me this. If the government understands this, then why didn't they take out marriage from government?
There's an old saying in politics, when you give power to the government, it's hard to take it back.